podcast. It's the College Football Playoff Podcast with Jackson and me, the host, and special guest Jackson.
Is this really how this goes, I thought?
Yeah.
Because, well, I thought that wasn't how it goes. But anyway, yeah, we're just gonna be talking about the College Football Playoff Championship, Travis.
Yeah.
The championship, not just the playoff, because we've already seen how things have gone with that. So let's just jump right in to the first game after the theme song. Okay, so
wait, that's our theme song? It's that short?
Whoa,
what kind of theme song is that?
We'll just play it for like a little bit. I'll just be like, and that's it. All right, listen. Anyway, so we're just gonna talk about how Ohio State did in the Michigan game. So final score is 24-30, and let's just take a look at some of the stats for that game. Let's see. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to get this set up. Can't scroll down. Oh, there we go. All right, so J.J. McCarthy having a pretty good game. 16 for 20, 148 yards, and a touchdown pass. Blake Corum on fire. 62 carries, 88 yards, and 2 touchdowns. 22 carries, 88 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And, yeah, that was basically it. Like, no one really had a really good game out of that. I mean, Marvin Harrison.
Loveland.
Yeah, but
did he have more yards than
no, Harrison.
Colston Loveland had more yards than the wide receiver.
Yeah, he's a tight end.
Who's the tight end for Cade Stover?
Yeah, Cade Stover. He's probably going to the NFL along with Marvin Harrison Jr. That game he had 5 receptions and 118 yards. And of course we all know what happened in the Cotton Bowl for us Buckeyes fans.
I think it was
Here's the score. Here's the score as of right now.
It was because Devin Brown. It was because Devin Brown got injured.
Yeah, I know, guys. This final score is pretty bad. But anyway, we had to literally put in our second quarterback because Devin Brown was hurt.
Third quarterback.
Well, third, because
he's a freshman.
Kyle McCord transferring to Syracuse along with
Devin Brown getting injured.
Yeah, and Julian Fleming is going to Syracuse as well.
Wait, and
our top receiver, of course, we didn't have Marvin Harrison, so all we had was Mega Ibuka. Travion Henderson played; he just wasn't good at all. And along with the refs being okay, but we all have our disagreements with the refs. The announcers, like, all they did was just talk about, Missouri. These guys are so good. This guy works at DoorDash, and before deciding if football was the really good fit for him, and good thing it was, and all that nonsense. So let's switch over to Michigan. After beating Ohio State, how do I view more of their games? Oh, games. Oh, there we go. All right, so we're gonna view some more of their games. Starting off with the Iowa game, and the final score for that one, 26-0. Michigan, the winners. J.J. McCarthy, 22 for 30, 147 yards. Blake Corum had 16 carries, 52 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Cornelius Johnson had 9 receptions and 64 yards. And, this Michigan team, Travis, it's looking pretty nasty. And guess what? I'm going to give you the honors of talking about the game that I think everyone was definitely watching last night. Alabama and Michigan. Let's take a look.
So, for Alabama, their quarterback, Jalen Milroe, was 16 for 23 with 116 yards, while J.J. McCarthy was 17 for 27 with 221 yards and 3 touchdowns. So he had a pretty good game. Jace McClellan, the running back for Alabama, had 14 carries for 87 yards, 2 touchdowns, so he had a better game than Blake Corum. Blake Corum had 19 carries, 83 yards, and 1 touchdown. So Jace McClellan had more yards with less carries and more touchdowns than Blake Corum. And their top receiver, Isaiah Bond, had 4 receptions for 47 yards.
And this is for Alabama.
And Michigan's Roman Wilson had 4 receptions for 73 yards and a touchdown. So, yeah, it was really close the whole game. Michigan was favored to win, but Alabama definitely was a great team. Led it into overtime, and then they just couldn't score to keep it up against Michigan. So that's how they lost.
So my uncle betted $10 that Alabama would win. And the only way he won is if Alabama won or they would lose by a single point. They didn't.
Yeah.
So let's I think that's really all we have for you actually right now. So let's actually go back and look at Alabama because they're the ones eliminated. And then we'll talk about Texas and Washington in the next one. This is going to be kind of a short podcast, so not too much to talk about. And I think we're actually going to, actually before we do that, let's review just some of the bowl games. Because there were a lot of games that were, like, pretty big. So let's just go back a little bit to around, we'll start off with the Holiday Bowl. Because Louisville...
How many bowls were there?
There's like 60 or something. I don't know. Anyway, let's talk about...
Pop-Tarts Bowl?
Oh, yeah, I know. There's a Pop-Tarts
Bowl?
Yeah, I know. They have the strangest names. The Cheez-It Bowl. There's a
Sun Bowl,
the
Gator
Sun
Bowl, Alamo Bowl.
Well, they all have different meetings. Like Duke's Mayo Bowl. And sometimes, like, the fans will go crazy and, like, drink mayo out of the bottle. Oh, Guaranteed Rate Bowl. There's, like, where's the...
Quick Lane Bowl.
There's, like, a Go Bowling Bowl.
Armed Forces Bowl.
Wait,
Air Force One. Guys,
that's funny.
Besides Ohio State, I'm an Air Force fan.
Good. All right, so let's just talk about the Holiday Bowl. USC actually winning 42 to 28, and even with Louisville being ranked, I mean their backup quarterback.
Oh, we're also Texas A&M fans, cause dude, perfect.
Oh yeah, definitely Texas A&M fans. And for that reason only, I picked them and they lost, and I wasn't too happy.
Cheez-It Citrus Bowl, Cheez-It Bowl.
How do I go back up?
Tennessee beats Iowa 35-0.
Okay, so let's go back. Let's go down. Let's go down and look at the Cheez-It Bowl. Tennessee Volunteers, ranked 25, beat the Iowa Hawkeyes. I picked them for that one. 35-0. Nico Lamaliva. 12 for 19. And he threw for 151 yards and a touchdown. And nothing too much to be happy about for Iowa. Their quarterback threw 2 interceptions. So we're going to go back and talk about some of the other past bowls. Travis here is reliving some childhood memories playing with a little semi-truck.
What?
Aw, that's cute.
Did these all go in here?
No, not really, I don't know. And he's playing with some of my NASCARs. All right, let's check out some other bowl games.
Jackson over here is looking at bowl games that don't even matter on his phone.
Do you even want to be a part of this? I'm just kidding. You want to talk about the Pop-Tarts Bowl, Travis?
The Pop-Tarts Bowl. It's kind of funny, all those bowls, because, like, they're not, like, playoffs.
I know, they're just
bowls.
That's why I feel like they kind of overhype. Like, the announcers, they always, like, overhype them, I feel like, because of, like, the way they are. So, actually...
The Pop-Tarts Bowl.
Okay, we've talked about the Cotton Bowl. Peach Bowl, Mississippi actually taking out Penn State 38 to 20.
Beat Penn State.
I know, 38 to 25.
I thought Penn State was going to be like really good this year.
Music City Bowl, Nashville, Tennessee. Hey, I got a special place in my heart for Nashville. But Maryland won 31 to 13. Reversible scores.
Wait, what? Maryland won
31-13.
Oh yeah.
So let's just talk about the Orange Bowl for a second.
Maryland was
Number 6 Georgia taking on Georgia's 5, I think, and Florida State's 6.
Georgia
They destroyed them. 63-3 final score. I mean, but that's the thing, though, Travis.
Is that after
what
they
more
lost
to Florida State?
Alabama?
Yeah, but this is how I feel, Travis. What does Florida State have to play for?
Yeah.
Nothing. Like a lame trophy. Like,
what does Georgia have to play for? Nothing.
And they still won, but I'm pretty sure they might have not even played some of the
Georgia losing to Alabama. We should look at that. Georgia losing to Alabama.
Yeah, we'll do that. But but if saying the college football playoffs stay the same, like
Aren't they gonna
premium, like midway through week 12, where you actually no, halfway after week 12, and you were into the championship games, where you had Georgia, Michigan, Washington, and Florida State. We would have seen that in the college football playoff. Ohio State would have been kicked out. They were fine. So honestly, you see that like you see that happening you see that happening to like Georgia and everything. Like, I'm trying to look up the final score for that and all the stats and stuff. Okay, my apologies, guys. So, like, if we're like in the championship game where Bama won by
a field goal.
Yeah, a field goal. 24-27. So,
well, actually, they might have not won by a field goal.
I don't know, but
that's
just crazy
3.
because, like, literally, that really should have been a national championship almost. That probably should be in the playoffs and even almost a national championship. That actually was a national championship like 2022, I think. 2022, yeah. So, yeah, Bama, Georgia, it's close. You want to give them the stats, Travis?
So, Carson Beck was 21 for 29, 243 yards for Georgia. And Jalen Milroe for Alabama was 13 for 23, 192 yards and 2 touchdowns. Georgia's running back, Kendall Milton, had 13 carries for 42 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Georgia's tight end, I think, Brock Bowers, had 5 receptions for 53 yards. And Alabama's rushing had Roydell Williams had 16 carries for 64 yards, 1 touchdown. And Isaiah Bond had 5 receptions for 79 yards. So that was the yards for that game. I mean, I think Georgia should have won, but
they didn't. They didn't. So before we leave, because this is how. So next episode, whenever we can get that out there before next Monday, because today is Tuesday, January 2nd, 2024, baby. It's a new year, so, so this is going to be a big game. So
it's crazy Ohio State lost all the way in November.
Yeah, so what we'll probably do is in the next podcast video, we'll probably review Texas's and Washington's previous game, the game itself, and the bowl game, and then after that, episode 3 will be going into the actual championship game of Michigan and Washington. So that's it for today, everyone. We are at the 14-minute mark.
And we will play our new outro. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bye.